Good morning, good afternoon, guys. I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you had fun watching the Super Bowl if you watched it or watched the halftime or maybe at least the commercials or got to hang out with your friends and family. Today we're going to be looking at solving radical equations. The first thing I want to do is help you set up your notebook. Here's how it's going to look. Assignment number 10, radical equations and problem solving. Make sure you write out your EQ. I will, we will, define and explore. We're going to look at something called the power rule, and then I'm going to show you some examples down here. On the second page, you need to show practice and then write this down. Show what you know about using power rule. You don't have to write down what's in black. Just write the word practice, and then I'll show you there's going to be 6 problems that you'll copy down into your notebook from the next set of slides. And then under here, you're going to write, understand what you learned. I do have a prompt that I do need you to write down. Okay. So I'm going to leave it here for just like a couple seconds. That way you can pause the video here and copy this down into your notebook. Okay. The next section, here we go. Here's the actual notes. Assignment number 10. Let me zoom in here so we can copy that down. Nice. Assignment 10 is radical equations and problem solving. Today, we will define the power rule. I underlined the wrong thing, power rule, and use it to solve equations with radicals in them. You should be asking yourself, how can I eliminate the radical symbol to solve equations? The big thing here is eliminating the radical symbol. We will define the steps to use the power rule to solve radical equations. Power rule is important. And you all will use the rules we defined to solve radical equations. Let's take a look at some definitions. So let's look at define and explore. The power rule. What is a power rule? This is what we're going to use to solve equations. We can raise, this is what the power rule says, we can raise both sides of an equation to the same power as the index. I need to make sure, you guys need to make sure you're copying all this down in your notebook to eliminate the radical. The general form looks like this. Whatever the number is here in the index, and you take this, put in parentheses, and raise it to the same power, you have to do the same to the other side. And if you do that, you wind up canceling out. Write this down first. And then what happens is these radicals and these powers wind up canceling each other out. Okay, but this is what the actual rule says. Copy this down. Another way to think about it is when we're solving radical equations, I'm right here. To solve radical equations, think about it like this. The radical symbol is like a jail, okay? It's like a jail for the numbers, and we need to set them free before we can solve the equation. We want to get rid of the radical. We can't solve problems with radicals in them. We have to get rid of it in order to find the value of x. So if we use the power rule, let's look at example number 1. The power says whatever the index is, so in this case it's 3, raise this to the power of 3, you have to do the same to the both sides of the equation. I'm sorry, I wrote 2, but it's 3. And what happens is this 3 cancels out this root and the radical. It all goes away. So what's left is what's inside the radical, and then this is 2. I keep writing 2 and it's 3. This is a 3. This becomes 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. X minus 3 equals 8. Add 3 to both sides. Those cancel, and I've got x equals 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Remember, before we can solve radical equations, we got to set the numbers free. The radical is like a prison. It's like a jail for the numbers. We got to get rid of them. We got to get them out of jail before we can solve. Let's take a look at this one. There's no index, so we can assume that we know there's a 2 there when there's no number. So I'm going to put some parentheses. I'm going to raise this to the power of 2. Put parentheses on the right side of the equation and raise that to the power of 2. What happens? Nothing. This simply cancels this out. The radical goes away. I bring down what's inside, and then I square this. This is negative 8 times negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. Subtract 4 from both sides. Those cancel. Oh my god, my son's running around. I think he sounds like a dinosaur. Oh my god, it's a dinosaur. Divided by 3, divided by 3. X equals 60 divided by 3, which is 20. And that's it. The algebra, solving for the variable, we've been doing this all year. We should know these steps already. The new thing that we learned is getting these numbers out of the radical prison. We got to get them out of jail. We got to break them free. The way we do that is whatever the power is here, we put parentheses, raise it to the same power, and we do the same to both sides of the equation, and then we can solve. Okay, I want you guys to look at these 6 problems. I'm going to put them right here. Write down all 6 of these problems and solve them in your notebook. We're going to work on this today, and I'll give you some time on Tuesday to work on these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 problems. Write these down in your notebook. And then to understand what you know or understand what you learn, I want you to, here's your prompt. I want you to create your own radical equation use the power rule to solve your equation. So you need to basically make up a problem. Show all your work. Show the answer to your problem. Okay, so make up your own problem with a radical equation that you have to use the power rule. So it can look like something like this, or it can look like something like this, but you have to make up your own and show me the solution. Okay, good luck today. If you'll have questions, let me know. I'll be around to help you all, and then on Tuesday we'll check. On Wednesday, I will start checking notebooks for assignments number 8, number 9, and we will have a quiz on Friday that we need to prepare for. Okay, good luck, guys.